Kitchen life hack 1. Keep your cat in a box right next to where you write down your life hacks. All right. These are specifically kitchen life hacks. And I realized that I've been doing life hacks, and I've been throwing them in there, so I haven't included all of those life hacks in this video. These are probably new ones. I might make a part 2 to this where I include the old ones just to sort of like get them all in one spot. A lot of these are going to be my OCD kicking in like real bad when we get to the microwave door one. It's going to be like, holy shit, he's anal. Maybe I am. All right, egg salad. Heat and press. Yeah, I know, the first life hack is about egg salad. I love egg salad. You boil, here's how I put egg salad. I do this pot, I put 7 eggs in it. You fill it up just that much with as hot of water as your sink will come out, because why wait? Put on your thing on high to medium high. You don't want it to overflow boiling. 17 minutes. I set this for 17 minutes. From the point I put that down, go. And that's, by the way, ironically, the same amount of time it takes to cook like carrots in my steamer. But boom, 17 minutes is up. Bubble, 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 bubble. Stop timer, shut that off. Put it in the sink, run hot water on it, and then slowly move the hot to medium hot, to warm, to cool, to cold. You don't want to just shock. I'm against shocking things with temperature. So you get your things cooled off. They're too hot to handle, too cold to hold. You call the Ghostbusters and you're out of control. I'm sorry, I think I just had a stroke. Run cool water on it for probably a minute. Then shut off the water, dump out that water because it's just going to have been warmed. Fill it again with cold water. Let it sit. No more than 10-20 minutes. You want the eggs warm when you start cracking them. And I was going to have all this stuff prepared for the entirety of this list. Fuck that. Warm eggs crack and peel better. If you boil eggs, hard-boiled eggs, and put them in the fridge and take them out and try to peel them, it never fucking works. I know this. And also, if you cool them down cool enough with the thing, it doesn't work. I've actually had to re-warm eggs with hot water. So you want warm but not hot eggs to peel. And then I'm making egg salad. My cousin will take the white off the yolk, pop the yolk into a cup, add the mayonnaise and all the yolks to a cup, spice it, and then blend the either stick blend it or just go nuts with it. So he makes like a sauce, like a cream out of just the yolks. Then he chops up the whites fine, throws them in there, and then scrapes out and adds his like. So you get like a really fine paste yolk, and then the whites are in there. And I do like that method. It's just a lot of work. I'm more of a take one of these, and I got this from Sur La Table. And if you go to like Amazon, I cannot find. This is a fryer lifter thingy for taking things out of a fryer. You see the action I'm doing? That's to indicate what it's for. And this one is perfect because it's a grid pattern. So you take this, you take something that nearly matches the contour, and I don't have one that perfectly matches the contour. Although I could probably, you know, I have 2 of these. I could probably bend this to flat match that. Yeah, I could do that, like that. I don't know, I get my hammer out and forge this later. But you put it on a plate, you put a hard-boiled egg on the plate, and take this and you go, and then you can put another one down, and you can get about 3 of them on there before this is full, and you could dump it out. I've made egg salad before on video. And that's how I make my egg salad, because that just makes everything nice little cubes. Nice little adorable cubes. It's so good. So where's my eraser? That's how you deal with egg salad. You gotta get the eggs at the right temperature, and then you've got to use that to press them out. Ice cream sandwiches. The secret to perfect ice cream sandwiches. Buy the cheapest shit brand of ice cream sandwich. These are literally Giant's store brand. That's fine, I don't need that. Buy them, buy the cheap ones. Let them melt a little bit on the way home. If you get them and you bring them home and you put them in the freezer right away, you failed. Leave them on the counter. 20, 30 minutes maybe. Maybe not that long. I don't know. Just make sure that they, oh God, the ice cream sandwiches are melting, and then put them in there. And what that does is it makes said ice cream sandwich, the moisture from the ice cream gets into the cookie and it softens it. You want a nice, soft, flexible, I would undo this, but I'm gonna have a, that's what you want. You want your ice cream sandwich to be able to bend. And like even when you refreeze, the little ice crystals form, and usually that's bad when you make like have ice cream, but an ice cream sandwich, those little crystals make a little crunch. It's a little crunch in your ice cream sandwich. You got soft cookies. The cookie should stick to your fingers. It's tradition in the Zio's household. Completely take the ice cream sandwich out of the wrapper. Do not eat it in the wrapper like you're trying to protect your hands. Your hands need to have brown cookies stuck to them. And if you've done my thing right, if you just let them defrost a little bit before you put them away, the cookies should be soft. They should stick to your fingers, and you have a little bit of like a when you bite into the ice cream. Oh, it's so good. Right? I'm fat for a reason. I understand what good is. Frozen crumbs. Now this one I made up on my own, and I'm not sure if I haven't died yet. So here we go. When I do chicken or pork chops or anything that I'm breading and frying or breading and baking, like shake and bake chicken. Excuse me, giant thing of Kerrygold butter. These are the bags I have. This is shake and bake with some added spices. And these are 4C seasoned breadcrumbs with added spices. And usually when you do it, either you toss the breadcrumbs in a thing and you throw the breadcrumbs away. And every time you don't know how much breadcrumbs, so you end up adding a little bit too much or not enough. Well, usually you add too much. And then you have this like half-inch of breadcrumbs in the bottom of a pan that you're like, throw that away. Raw chicken touched that. And you should throw that away. Raw chicken touched that. But I'm going to put more raw chicken in it in 2 weeks. So put it in the freezer. There's raw chicken in this bag. And when it's in the freezer, it's like having raw chicken in your freezer. It's just... And I have both types. I have to change this bag. Sometimes I change the bags out. Usually by the time the bag's getting... I could probably use these 5 or 6 times. And I've been known to add like extra packages in there if I'm doing it. But at some point you just want to say like, you know what? I've had these in there for 3 months. And I've breaded a ton of chicken or pork with it. Usually chicken. And then, oh, it opened and it just got everywhere. God hates me. Alright, I'll deal with that later. Alexa, remind me to deal with the chicken in 25 minutes.
Okay, I'll remind you in 25 minutes.
Thank you. That's why she's around. Anyway, yeah, so that's, if the bag doesn't rip, that's a great system because you just take the chicken, get all the drippings off, drop in the bag, shake it, take it out. Actually, shake it, press it, take it out, and then you're good. So I don't have to keep adding I don't have to go through 12 things of seasoned breadcrumbs and shake and bake. That will last, what's in those bags will last me for at least another month and a half, 2 months, if I made chicken every week. So that's just, again, I haven't died, and I've been doing that for years. So if you think that's a health concern, that, oh, it's raw chicken. Yeah, but I'm putting it in the freezer. So you would just take raw chicken, put it into a bag, and put it in the freezer, and you'd be fine, and you take it out and you'd eat it. So I'm taking the raw chicken, putting it in a bag, putting it in the freezer, taking it out, putting more raw chicken into it, taking it out, and cooking it. It's not like it's going after the fact. Plus, cold really helps kill things. Salt types. Pasta shows up, right? And pasta, being from Paraguay, is like, I don't have salt in my kitchen because I eat healthy. And I'm like, well, bitch, your food does not taste very good in that case. I have... Let's see if I can pick them all up, which is not going to... I'm going for the gold. I have not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 different types of salt in my kitchen. Yes, I know I don't know my cholesterol, but that's fine. The first one I'm just going to get out of the way. This is a Vietnamese salt. Very big chunks. This is not just straight up rock salt. When you grind it, and by the way, these are the IKEA grinders. They're $6 a piece, and they're the greatest fucking thing ever. They get very, it's like oily. Like you can see it's like sticking to itself. It looks like it's been like wet, and it's not. That's just the way the salt is. And it's very mild. Like that's a very mild salt. I'll almost never use this. You see the top? You see how little it's been used? So I could ignore the Vietnamese salt. It was just something I bought and I thought it was interesting. It doesn't really have a different flavor. It's just mild. Now the main ones. So I think you should all know kosher. Kosher salt is, and this is, I like the Morton's, and I'll refill this one from a bigger thing of kosher salt. Because look at it. Look at the size of those crystals. It looks like pretzel salt. It's like what you'd get in a nice good pretzel from like an Aunt Anne's. And this is good for meat pre-cooked, before cooking, before you cook meat, anything that I'm doing before I cook it, anything meat, or I could do vegetables sometimes, I will do, basically this is the big heavy hitter of the entire kitchen, is kosher salt. You put it on there, it sticks, it's great. There's no added anything else. And by added anything else, I mean iodine. Iodized salt. This is what everyone has on their table. Do not put this on your food and do not cook with this. Ever. This I only use for when I boil water. Because you have to salt the water before you make like pasta, or I even salt a little bit in the rice, but I don't use iodized. This is non-iodized salt, so you can get it iodized or non-iodized. Iodine's good because you don't get enough iodine in our diets, blah, 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 blah. I salt my pasta water with this, giggity, because the iodine actually makes it taste saltier without adding more salt. So I still dump like, I don't know, half a cup of salt in a pot to boil water to make pasta, because if you do the ratio, if you have 20 pounds of water in that pot, all right, you have 10 pounds of water in that pot, and you add a quarter to a half a cup of salt times the 10 pounds of water, then you put pasta in it, and the pasta went in weighing a pound and comes out weighing 2.5 pounds. 1.5 pounds of water have now been absorbed out of the 10 pounds of water, and then that half a cup of salt, you've taken a certain amount of it and put it in there. It's not like, if I could literally pour this entire fucking thing in there, and then the pasta would be too salty. But if I add a half a cup of salt to boiling water to make pasta, I'm not adding a half a cup of salt to my pasta. It's only going to take whatever amount of water is absorbed. So feel free to over-salt your pasta water. It should taste like the sea. So that's what I use iodized salt for, only that. Only for boiling water for pasta. Regular salt, non-iodized. This I put in rice, pre-cooking. This is what I use for baking. This is the, like, they're all like, there's so many important salts. Because this is it doesn't have that iodized flavor, but it's just salt. It's just, you know, it looks just like table salt. It acts just like table salt. If I'm doing popcorn, I'll use this, because you don't want that iodized flavor does not work for everything. Give me some salt, baby. And finally, pink Himalayan. I will link to this. I buy a giant mofo bag of like 2 pounds of salt. 2 pounds of pink Himalayan Sherpa pink. You get this on Amazon for like, I don't know, $10 or $12. I'm sure it's way more expensive than it needs to be, but that's going to last, I don't know. How much salt can you possibly consume, especially if you have 5 types? Again, look how much I use this one. Holy shit. All right, compared to the other one. This goes on everything, and this is the salt I put directly onto cooked food. You don't want to put any of those other salts directly. The kosher salt's too big. It's like, unless you're making a pretzel, no. The Morton's, it's a little bit too hard to control. This is a good, nice, controlled burn with a nice flavor. Look how powderized it gets. It's more of a powder than a granule. And you get that, and if you want to put salt directly on your food, if I'm making corn on the cob and I want salt, done. Salt's important, all right? We had wars for spices and shit. Those are the, I would say you need 4, not the 5th one. The Vietnamese one is just something I have. But I mean, those 4. Kosher. Gotta have both types of salt, iodized and non-iodized, and I would definitely recommend a specialty salt. It doesn't have to be pink Himalayan. There's a trillion types of different salt that if you're gonna go directly onto food, you use something high-end and in a grinder. So salt types are gone. No Dawn. No, that is not a fucking movie starring Patrick Swayze. No Dawn. See this? This is Dawn. Everyone uses this, and everyone claims, oh, Dawn is the best, and it helps save wildlife. Look at the duck. Oh, fuck Dawn. Miss Mayer's Clean Day. And you want to know why? Let me see if I could demonstrate this. I was considering if I could demonstrate this. I don't know if this is going to work. It's a wet plate, so it's probably not going to work. And that's clear, so it's definitely not going to work. Go. That's not working at all. Let me try rinsing it off, though. Actually, that's going to demonstrate it better than anything. So I'm rinsing this off, right? There's no more Mrs. Mayer's clean day. There's still fucking Dawn. Here's the problem with Dawn. People are stupid. And people think that, wow, Dawn's the best because it never goes away. I wash my dishes and the Dawn's always there. Every fucking white. The reason I have this done, by the way, is because we went camping and I needed something to wash, like the shit while we were tailgating. Dawn never goes away. If I put Dawn on my sponge and I'm wiping a dish and then I go to rinse off the dish, it is legitimately twice as long to rinse off the Dawn than it is the Mrs. Meyer's clean day. I want soap to come in, suds up, take the dirt, and then fucking leave. Alright? This is the passionate one right here. I buy a 4-pack of this and I fill up this old Head and Shoulders thing, which I can never get the sticker quite off because I don't want to have to lift up a soap thing to do that. I just want to go pump and then have soap. And watch, you ready? I'm going to rinse off my hand. There's no more soap on my hand. My hand is dry and clean. No soap. If I do that with Dawn, I'd have to change the battery in the fucking GoPro because Dawn never goes away. You want soap to show up, do its job, and then leave. And Dawn never leaves. I fucking hate it. It was the worst camping because we had like a limited water supply of bottles. So I'm like trying to rinse something off and I pull the bottle and I'm like, all right, go away, soap. I don't need you anymore. You've done your job. Soap. I want a thinner, faster, easier to remove soap. Just boom, Mrs. Meyer's. Fucking just buy it. Tell me if I'm crazy. These videos are all a sanity check for me. In the comments, if you tell me I am crazy, and everyone continues to say I'm crazy, then I'm crazy. That's when I'll wear that mask and start haunting the streets of Philadelphia. Okay, so if you got that, don't buy fucking Dawn. Non-stick care. Do you see this pan? I was given these tremolinas made in America but by my cousin Jay when I moved out here, and you could see that there's swirls and scratches and all sorts of nasty, and that's because I was not a disciplined chef like I am now. I am disciplined, and you'll see there's some marks in this but not as much and not as deep. Taking care of a non-stick involves 3 things. Don't use abrasive fucking spoons or anything like that. And I have by accident, or I had by necessity, just to get like sauce out. It's like, oh, don't touch it. Number 2, temperature change is what hurts pots, hurts nonstick. If this pan is hot and you just cooked eggs in it, and you're like, oh, I'll go wash it, and you put it in cold water, do that once and you might as well buy a new pan. Let the dirty pan sit on the stove until it's room temperature, or damn close to room temperature. And then when you're putting it in the sink, put it on hot so that you don't change the temperature. You don't fucking go from hot to cold. Ever. And lastly, and I've been testing it like this for almost a year, do not use the scrubby side of the sponge. I use this side of the sponge and it comes out every time because it's non-stick. I'll use the scrubby side around the lip where there's no non-stick coating. Food will splash up here, I'll drain it over the thing, and it'll just have to get scraped off with the scrubby side. But anything on the surface, soft side of the sponge. And this has been the best non-stick pan that what brand is this? It's also a Tramontina. I don't know if it's an American made Tramontina. I got it at Costco, I think. So yeah, those are the rules. No hurty spoonies. Let it sit. Let the fucking thing sit until it's room temperature, and then don't use the scrubby side of the sponge. Just ever. You think you're gonna need it? Run water, lots of soap, lots of lube, and just rub it with the smooth side of the sponge. It's clean. And again, it's not using Dawn. We're not there 500 fucking hours cleaning the goddamn soap out of it. Hang tomatoes, and this is an odd day because I don't have tomatoes to actually show you that I'm hanging tomatoes, but I have a hook here that you may have seen in some of my cooking videos, and I always buy the tomatoes on the vine. I usually got a bunch of 4 or 5, and I just hook them here. Right now there's garlic, which I got for something coming up. Lots of garlic that I didn't need for something coming up. Hang the tomatoes, because here's the thing. A tomato grows, you may have seen that. They grow on like vines, and they hang. And if you get them, and you put them down on something, then the weight is pressing on the part, and it flattens a spot, and that's when tomatoes go bad. I've hung tomatoes here, and then gone away for a week and a half, and I'm like, I wonder if the tomatoes will be all right when I get back. And they're all right when I get back. They last forever. You get them on the vine, you don't take them off the vine, you leave them on the vine, you hang it so that the only weight is being held by the actual stem, like in nature, and they're perfect. And they're perfect. I don't have any here, and the store across the street didn't have any to sell, so I could demonstrate that. But that's just a trust me thing. Get a hook. My cousin put a little thing, or his handles are a little bit lower. He put a little what's it called hook here, and he either hangs tomatoes or his bananas. Tomatoes and bananas. The reason you hang bananas is the reason you hang tomatoes. By the way, I don't eat bananas. Just telling you. Hang tomatoes, done. Garlic shake. Not Harlem shake, garlic shake. So, I usually just buy a giant tub of minced garlic, right? Just this bitch. Because I could open the lid and then get a spoon and go, now everything has garlic in it. And fuck vampires. If you're one of the people who buys those, if you're one of the people who deals with these, and you hate, one of the people who is forced to deal with this, if you're a child, hi child, does mommy and daddy make you peel garlic because they're pieces of shit? Well, I'm going to try to help you right now. And mommy and daddy are going to yell, and I had to buy this to show you that it works, unless it doesn't work, because it only works about 80% of the time. It really depends on how dry the garlic is. So usually with garlic like this, you got to peel the whole skin off, right? And it's annoying and stupid. And I forget where I saw this. I don't think it was Alton Brown. It had to be something else. Pot. Lid, even though this isn't the lid for the pot. There's a chance this will work. Perfectly peeled. Perfectly peeled. Perfectly peeled. Perfectly peeled. Perfectly peeled. Look, there's the skins. Yes, that fucking works. And no, you wouldn't believe me if I didn't fucking do it. And I don't edit, and DMS isn't here to like magic that to happening. I cannot tell. Oh, there's another one that's perfectly peeled. Hold on. I cannot tell you how amazed I was that this worked. And I cannot tell you how no one else fucking believes me. Well, now, there you go. She makes us his own video. That's all. Look at it. There's not even like a bit of skin on it. It's perfectly peeled garlic. Big pot, hard lid, bang, 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 a few times, hard, and all the garlic falls into the garlic's now peeled. You're welcome, internet. Now I gotta use like 7 cloves of garlic because fuck. Alright, 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 alright. Like, favorite, subscribe. I never say it, but now you have to share this. At least get the time code for the garlic shake. Because that just saved your life. And the bigger the pot, the better. You want a lot of movement. You want a lot of up and down and banging in space. My hands now smell like garlic. Should have made garlic shake #1 because that's all people are gonna watch. Alright. I got a couple more food things, but microwave door is where I start getting like, hey, Zeos, you may want to see a therapist. The rapist? What? So, I've owned many microwaves over my lifetime. Well, actually, I didn't own it. In fact, I still don't own a microwave. So have I really grown up? See, this was donated to me by my former roommate, who had it here for many, many years. But at home, we went through a microwave every like 3 or 4 years. And what broke all the time was that detecting if the door was open or closed, right? Every time you close it, you open it, this thing would break. This would either stop opening the door or it would just stop detecting the door was closed. That's what always broke in my microwaves. So did you see what I just did? I just let the door close, but not close. You can save 50% of the closes on a microwave by just not closing the door. Get your food out, drop the door. If you don't have a little angle helps. If you're on a fucking super flat surface, it may not. But don't push it in. Just leave it like that. You know why? Because the next time you come to the microwave, you're going to open it up and put something in it, and then you're going to close it, use the microwave, open it, and you can just let the door close. This is very specific for Zeos, but if that's what breaks the microwave, you could do it 50% less. And people always slam the microwave door. Boom! Yeah, I wonder why the microwave doesn't work. I don't know. Probably because you're one of DMS's roommates who break all the fucking microwave doors. I'm assuming they would. So yeah, that's just... And that's a very recent one. That's like within the last 2 months. I'm like, you know what? Why am I closing the door? I would literally go up and be like, why didn't I close the door? And I'd close it. And then I realized, because Jesus has come down to show me the way, and I have to teach his teachings on a random Z video. Hot cocoa. Ooh, I like this one. So, let me show you people how you normal people make a hot cocoa. Hot cocoa mix. And then they need a cup. I actually have 2 mugs. The red one's for hot cocoa. The blue one's for tea. This and boiling water. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, hot cocoa is a hot subject for people. People tell me all the time, no, you can't do that. You got to do this. You can't do that. You got to do this. I have those little grandma tablets that you melt in milk. Here, these. Before you fucking tell me to buy these, abuelita, look at this old fuck. What the fuck's your problem, bitch? All right? These are good, all right? But here's the thing. I'm about cleanliness and chocolatey and ease. And boiling milk on my stove is never the solution. This and water is bad. This is a lot of effort. Instead, we're going to talk about making things right with God. Okay. Through science. Okay. Here's how I make my chocolate milk. And I've done an entire video on making my chocolate milk, but I'm not sure if I did. Take your mug. And I use whole milk, and you should all use whole milk, minimum 2%. I grew up on 2%. At some point we switched to skim. Fuck that noise, that's white water. Whole milk. The mug you plan on making hot cocoa in, and I just boil water in this. I don't have to boil a lot of water because I'm not filling up this cup with hot water. What I'm doing is I'm making hot water. You know what? Give me a second. While the water is getting ready to boil, so I could finish the hot cocoa, let's move on because I've got other things to do and I hate slowing down. Meat thermometer. Everyone needs one. You can't cook anything that's well, you could cook a steak if you're me, because I'm amazing with steak. Wasted on pasta. But chicken thighs, pork chops, pork loins, anything else, you want one of these. You want a probe-in, a leave-in probe thermometer that you could set an alarm, and it says, hey, your roast beef is at 125 degrees internal, it's gonna be done. And here's the thing, if you want a rare to medium rare like piece of beef, you want like anywhere from 127 to 132, and that's it. Final temperature. Now we could talk about sous vide all day, we're not going to. Because what you need to do is you need to figure out how much more the meat's gonna warm up after you've pulled it out. Things keep cooking when you take them out of the oven. You don't think they do, but the outside, which was in a 300 degree oven, is 300 degrees, and it's gonna slowly work its way to the center, which is where we're actually measuring. I usually will push the meat thermometer into the center, possibly a little bit too far. This way I could pull it out, and if I see it doesn't change, it's good. If I pull it out a little bit and the temperature drops, it means I wasn't in the center, and now I am, and then I leave it in. You can't cook any piece of meat thicker than your thumb without a leave-in meat thermometer. Alternatively, if you're on the go, if you're barbecuing and you can't do a leave-in, an Insta-read that literally just tells you the temperature. You know, how hot's my hand? 87, 90, 92, whatever. The point is, it's very fast. It lights up, battery powered. It's got a little Poindexter thing here that you can just clip it on. And this will keep you from sending your mother to the hospital from uncooked chicken like I did. So, get yourself a goddamn Polar meat thermometer that you could probe your shit. If you're doing like a chicken, you want to probe like dark meat, so a thigh. You want to. It'll take you some practice to figure out where to do it, where to find the thickest piece of meat that's the furthest away from the heat. You want the last thing that's going to cook to be the first thing you do. Unless you're doing 2 steaks, I would do the thinner steak. Don't overdo the thinner steak to get the thicker steak. Probe the thinner steak. When the thinner steak is done, you take that out and you just either probe the thicker one or you just wait long enough, and that'll be the more medium rare one. So meat thermom.
This is a reminder. Deal with the chicken.
Okay, Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Gotta deal with the chicken. Toaster. Now, when I write these lists, I usually am a little vague because I'm just like, I write that real quick. So I wrote toaster. I don't know what that means. But I could have a toaster oven and we could discuss about 100 things that I need to tell you about a toaster oven. We're almost boiling here though. So hold on for toaster. Ready? We're gonna do hot cocoa. There's some water boiling, not a lot. Do I want to have hot cocoa or warm cocoa? You know when you have to wait and it's super hot and you could see the people with mittens and like, oh, it's so hot, blowing on their little fucking things. Fuck that. I want to drink my hot cocoa. Actually, no, I want to drink my warm cocoa. So here's how you do this. That is hot cocoa. That is warm cocoa. Put cold milk in a cup and that will determine how much water you have to replace that with to finish it off. I'm going to lower this down so it doesn't boil away. So you want hot cocoa, a little bit, warm cocoa, and then you don't go any higher than that because then you're just making cold cocoa. So Nestle's hot cocoa mix is my favorite. Straight up. There's only one problem though. It's not chocolatey enough. And it doesn't have enough flavor. But it's the best base to work with. Every time I'll do carnations in a breakfast, I will add Nesquik. If I do that, I'll add Nesquik. And when I'm doing this, this is basically just how much extra chocolatey flavor do I want. And I'm only going to add like that much. You see how I've done that? So there's the mix and a little bit, just a little boom, more flavor. Please skip this step. Hey, look, Paraguayan sugar. Please skip this step if you're a diabetic. I'm just going to add a little bit of white sugar. My friend does this, and I don't know why, but I do it, and I feel like I'm breaking the law, so that's good. And now you have a choice. So now you've got the base that's solid, more chocolate, which is needed, and then I added white sugar because, fuck, I want to die real early. Which I'm sure some other people watching this will be like, yeah, I hope he dies. These are expensive chocolate things. I've got the Ghirardelli Premium Hot Cocoa Double Chocolate. I've tried making hot cocoa with just this alone. It's too strong. I've tried making hot cocoa with this Silly Cow Farms All Natural, and this is the chocolate mousse. It's too strong. And then I bought the Silly Cow Hot Chocolate Marshmallow Swirl. It's like these flavors, these marshmallow swirl and cocoa and double, like that's dark. You can't, if I have hot cocoa of each one of these just on their own like they're supposed to, is all I could say. So, you know when you add marshmallows, everyone likes to add marshmallows. There's stuff I don't have any marshmallows. Actually, I do have maple flavored marshmallows down there from the last time I was in Paraguay. Just give it a splish. A splish, half a teaspoon of whatever flavor you want to add. We're covered, just a splish. And now, this marshmallow swirl, I will taste it in this, but it won't be the entire fucking thing. Now here's the secret. When you stir this into the milk, you're gonna, you're gonna keep stirring and keep stirring and keep stirring. And it's never going to quite absorb. Look. Lumpy. And you can see there's actual dry bits in there. And you could stir this until you die. Just till next year. You can just keep stirring this going, why can't I make this like become chocolate milk? And you can't. Because a good hot cocoa mix has things in it that do not work with cold. Cold milk will not dissolve what's in here. Only hot water will. So that was a perfect amount of lowering. We're going to get our disgusting slurry, chocolate slurry going. And we're going to add slowly. Slowly. How slow can you go? And you don't want to fill it up to the very top. You want to have enough space to stir it vigorously. And then you want to see the foam. The foam is like extra dark because it's carrying a lot of those solids. So make sure you mix that foam in there. You're going to slurp the foam off the top and you're going to get a nice shot of like extra chocolate. Keep stirring down. And the best part, this is so hot that all that water that was in there, see it's like steaming off, it'll just be dry. And like, it won't even drip. Not once will it drip. That should have been a life hack all on its own. So now, where I just poured boiling water into this, guess what it's not? Actually, we could tell you exactly what it is with my instant read thermometer. We have a 113 degree. 114 degree. What are you doing down there? That's too cute. Fuck off. 114.6. Which, guess what that isn't? Gonna remove the roof of your mouth, and you could just drink it now. Note I'm also using a very long spoon. This is what I consider warm chocolate. I can just drink this. It's just so right. Now, if you're going to travel with it, if you're not going to drink it immediately, add less milk, do the same thing. You'll have a thicker slurry, but you'll add more hot water when the time comes. Good, good. And again, you could skip that white sugar thing because I just feel like that's diabetes. Diabetes. Back to the toaster. So, toaster oven. That's what it was. I remember now. I just talked about my microwave. I love my microwave. Sometimes you need a microwave. You got to warm up soup. You got to do this. You don't want to have a fucking pot and burn the bottom of the pot. You warm things up in the microwave. I did talk about previously like keeping a thing of water in the microwave and never using the microwave on high, which my microwave is so weak I can. But if you have a big real microwave, not that you're not real, baby, I know. Don't run it on high to warm most things up. You want to sort of like give it that respite of like 80%, 70% power. And you warm things up and you keep the water in it, and the water will evaporate and cause moisture to not come out of the food. It's very strange how that works, but it works. But I keep around these trays, which I'll see if I can find these to link. And this toaster oven with its big ass oven thermometer. This is how I warm up most of my food. I either on that or I could do this and I could take this whole tray out, cover this in the foils and put this in there. Reheat your food. It'll take, if you have a good toaster oven, like this one's a really good one, it's Oster. Other than the fact that if you don't turn it past 20, if you set it to just there, she'll go tick, 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 ding, and then she'll go tick, 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 tick. Oh, I turned it on. Please leave the house and let me burn your house down. Don't let a toaster burn your house down. It happens to people. That's bad news. I will unplug this every time I leave if I'm leaving for like a weekend, this shit gets unplugged because I don't trust that. That system is bad. It's a bad system, Oster. But that said, this toaster oven goes from 0 to your food is burnt in like 4 minutes. And since it'll do that, I just leave it on full, on turbo, twist that knob, because you want it to go tick, tick, tick to tell you it's on, because if it's not going tick, 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 you can't tell it's on. And you put your food, whatever it is, if I have stuffing and pasta and chicken, take this thing, throw down an instant sheet of foil, which I know some people are like, no, Alzheimer's. But just there, shovel my leftovers onto it, shove it in there. Do that, You could set a timer for 5 minutes, come back. The meat always tastes better warmed up. Like how I close that without looking? Meat always tastes better warmed up in the toaster oven, as long as it's not beef and you're overcooking it. But then again, you ever microwave beef? Yeah, fucking don't. And you could set this to a lower temperature if you really want, if you have the patience. You don't have to put this on super kill mode, like compete with the microwave mode. You can just turn this down. Let it slowly bring your food up to warmth. Oh, it's so good. Slow and low and I also toast my toast in this. It's a toaster oven. It's for toasting things. So I put this in, put the toast and the grilled cheese in there. Oh, it's good. I'm assuming that's what I meant when I said toaster, is that I just, I use the toaster, versus the microwave a lot. I probably use my toaster oven 2 times as much as I use my microwave. Full 2 times. Dish stack. Now this is for the people in college who have no attention spans and haven't made it this far. You know when you have dishes that need to be cleaned and you're a lazy fuck and you just stack the dishes somewhere? My only advice to you, and this took years of developmental purposes, and I'm going to dirty a clean dish. Please, 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 when you have a dirty dish like this and a dirty dish like this and you do that, that's the worst thing. Because you know that you're going to get to the dishes tonight, right? You're going to do the dishes tonight. You're not going to wait till tomorrow. But Jessica's coming over and fuck, I'll go to see the movies. Oh my God, the club is and 4 to 5 days later, that's still sitting there. And you know what happened? You've made a perfect seal between these 2 dishes. So that means the food that was on this dish is now stuck to the bottom of that and closed up. So you don't smell it right away until you go to wash it and you go like this. Because you fucking sealed it in there. What you do is, because you know that you're not doing the dishes tonight, because Jessica, she's a slut. Bang. Take a fucking utensil and do that. And then you take another utensil, put it that way, and put the other one on top. This is going to be a stack of dishes. Never have dishes aligned to the point where they seal, or you'll have a bad time. Same thing for pans and pots. Let everything have air. Air will dry things out, but they won't smell as bad. Like leaving broccoli on a plate's never a good idea. But leaving broccoli in room temperature, sealed in a moist environment between 2 things, I want to puke thinking about it. So that's my advice. Just, you know, I had literally 4 dishes and I have those little ones in the back. I have these. And what I'll do is I'll usually do like, there. So now I have just a gap. It's just a gap. It's just a gap between everything. Up, down. You don't think you're going to be lazy, and you're listening to this going, no, I'd never leave the dishes there for that long. I would totally do the dishes. No, you won't. You fucking won't. And you can leave utensils in a thing filled with water, and that's fine. That helps them get clean much faster. And I wrote this one on today because I was like, I need one more thing. And it's a 3 towel system, even though I have 4 towels. Don't ask. This one is like attached to the stove, and I've taken it off like once. It's Mickey Mouse. And every time if you ask me what this is, I would never remember it's Mickey Mouse. But there's a Mickey Mouse towel here. And this is a Quest. Like oh, I just hit myself in the balls. Oh, this video just got real popular. Okay. I'm sure you did that. Thanks. Thanks, Dexter. Thanks. I'm sure you fucking willed that to happen across the internet. Let me just gather my thoughts. Actually, let me gather my thoughts. Hose, get in here. Okay, that'd be great. I'm gonna be walking that off for a few. I'm not gonna puke. Quest, baseball. So yeah, okay. What was I talking about? Towels. Don't hit yourself in the nuts. That's the jock strap linked in the description. Hold on, I'm rubbing my nuts. I'm literally massaging them on the internet. That was a slap. That was a slap. That was... My hands are big and thick and heavy. They could do marvelous things, and then they hit me in the balls. So, my most used towel is either this one or this one. I don't know, it's a fight. This is my pot holder. I have a really nice fucking iron, like what all clad. I have an all clad pot holder. I got these soft pot holders, which I just use every thing that I do with this little shitty rag. And I don't know why, but I like using it more than I like using pot holders. It's just the right size and it's the right softness, and I could do like this with it, and I wouldn't do that with an all-clad mitt. Do that, and then I wash it occasionally. Like I'm talking about once every 4 months, maybe. I'll wipe something off, and it's fine. So get yourself, I don't know, what's the dimensions of this? Let me see if I can give this to you. 16 by 10. That's inches. I don't know what would be in metric. You guys can go convert and put it in the description or in the comments. And I just leave it like that. And that's the first thing I grab when I need to get something. Oh God, I just threw it into the bottom. It's just it's my go-to. It's my go-to. This one, the rarest used towel, and this is for drying a dish. I'll pull this off. I need to dry this pot so I could use it now. And that's this one. This is sort of like the backup. I'll count this as a backup because the big towel, the towel that I'm going to use the most, is this one, which is hooked around the thing so I could use it to do that. Which if you have dirty, sticky, nasty hands, you want to do that because you don't want to keep touching the fridge and wash the fridge down. However, when I wash my hands, this is my dry my hands towel, because look at it, it's perfect. Perfect height. It's just boom. Way better than like when you're in a bathroom and you're drying it like this. No, like this. This is just art. I also dry my knives. If I'm doing my knives, I'll just dry them with this because this is my hand towel. I dry my hands. It's a little moist. It's good. So hand towel, dish towel, do rag, because it's the rag that do things. That's the end of my list. The kitchen hacks list. It's now. Oh, that needs rubbing alcohol to clean it off. Okay. Orions, you fuck. Sugar, how you get so fly. Sugar, how you get so fly. Anyway, thank you for sticking around through my ramblings. If any of these help you, tell me in the comments after you come back from them helping you, because they're not helping you yet. There might be future ones. I might get back to just normal life hacks. I know like things like the magnet. Magnets, how do they work? Well, you buy them and then you find a metal stud and then oh, breadcrumbs. I gotta deal with the breadcrumbs because the thing reminded me about the chicken and I gotta do that. So I'm gonna do that and I'll get back to you all in the next life hacks, kitchen hacks. This is specifically kitchen hacks. So thank you. Click the links in the description. Check out my Patreon, which has nothing to do with these videos, but bought that garlic. So just correlation. Bye.